Well, is it a matter of my opinion? I put this on YouTube. I called it Spiritual Insights of Current Events back in November 2015. So that's been months ago. 2 views. Alright? You look at all these views over here. What do you got? Look at my other one. 3 views. The other ones are 283 views, 2,000 views, 2,000 views, 15,000 views. All the different opinions. 6 views. 2 views. 76 views. I mean, it goes on and on. Some of them got thousands up to millions of hits of people looking at the different opinions and ideas of what's out there. I wrote this piece, and I guess I shouldn't have stuck it into this one because it got lost. I've made reference to it a couple times in other videos. Look at it. My opinion. Is it my opinion? Let me bring up that piece. Here it is. In my opinion, alright? People all heard this expression, in my opinion, and how it's used in chat rooms, texting over the web, and cell phones today. The issue I would like to discuss is, does it come down to my opinion? If it does, then whose opinion is right and whose is wrong? In other words, a famous line from Paul, what is the truth? We hear this, well, that's only your opinion. A remark made by those who apparently disagree with you having their opinion, thinking theirs is correct and yours is wrong. What if I told you that both are wrong? Because it doesn't come down to my opinion or theirs. Would you understand where I'm coming from? Well, this is where this article or video is going. I'll start with what Jesus Christ, the Son of God, in the mode of a Son of Man, just like us. You got that in our head yet? Who once said, I have many things to say and judge of you, but the one who sent me is true. Now you might get different opinions of what Jesus might have meant saying this to the Pharisees that day. Let the statement speak for itself, and don't interject your opinion. I'm not doing that here. Jesus' use of I is plain enough. Jesus, as those around him perceived him, that's what I meant. They couldn't see him as the Son of God, manifested as the Son of Man. They couldn't get past that fact. The carnal minds couldn't see it. So just use of I is plain enough. Jesus, those around him perceived him. Jesus, the son of Mary, and Joseph, the carpenter's son, Of course, beyond my opinion, Scripture clearly brings out that Joseph wasn't his natural father, that he was virgin born. Now you can reject this and go with your opinion about Jesus, but you wouldn't get an argument from me with my opinion on the matter of his being virgin born. I don't have one as of this point in my life. Now understand, I might have had my opinion once, but somewhere I personally came to understand that my opinion and your opinion doesn't really matter. I settle for God's opinion. He would be the only one sufficient enough to have that amount of information on a matter to know what he's talking about. All of us aren't sufficient enough to evaluate anything. That's the scripture text. Paul said it. Yet you hear it all around you, being broadcast over TV and the web, so accepting an all-sufficient God, I believe Jesus was virgin born, and it's not just my opinion. Many others have done the same, and it isn't just their opinions either. Well, moving on with this matter of Jesus, the Son of Man, he said that he had many things to say and judge of those before him, the Pharisees, yet didn't share his personal opinions of them, or the circumstances, or the situation that they were addressing. Yet later you hear Jesus blasting them with what appears to be his words and judgments. Was he caught in a contradiction? No. Reading on. He gives the source of his words and judgments, which were not his. The one who sent me is true. I rest my case. He said, I don't judge you. The words I speak, they will judge you one day. And now we do that today. Can we say that? Well, he was the Son of Man. I said, if you want to understand what I'm talking about, you better get into a good study of Philippians chapter 2. Who, being the form of God, thought it not robbery to be equal with God, but took upon him the form of a servant. We're servants. We're just like that. And sets aside the independent use of an attribute which he possessed. You and I possess an attribute of being the Son of God. by what he accomplished. That we don't take that and act independent from God any more than he did. He was the Son of God, the Son of God. We are sons of God through what he accomplished. That we don't play Mickey Mouse and put our hat on thinking God's asleep when we have to take care of matters and act independent from him, or sin they call it. I got to give out my opinion on this. You'd be better to just be silent and be crucified. Nevertheless, you can live. I'm crucified, nevertheless I live, and the life I now live through this flesh. My carnal ability to express things, I live through the faith of the Son of God. That ain't Bible verses memorized. That's totally dependent, as Jesus was, to be in a position where you look at a situation, someone asks you a question, or you see a situation, and you want to give off your personal soulish feelings and thoughts at that moment. Stop at that moment. And under your breath, say, well, Lord, I have many things to say, Judge, to this situation. Off the top of my head, I can give my opinion. Father, what are you seeing this? And wait. And God will give you words. God will give you an action. And when you do those, express those words or do those actions, you're doing the works of him who sent you. And it's not you. And you're self-righteous, spouting off at the mouth, and actions, getting glory, and robbing God of the glory. I mean, a lot of this comes out in all my other videos. One who sent me is true. So that's the thing about, in my opinion. It's not my opinion. And what am I doing right now? You know, I'll sit down and have a cup of coffee, and the Lord said, go in and put this there. Well, that's just your opinion, Paul. Take it for what it's worth. God bless you.